Vandagriff up next. Yeah, put your hand up. Okay, we'll throw it open to questions for Brock.
Brock, I'm kind of asking everybody the same question. What does the University of Kentucky mean to you?
University of Kentucky means to me, well, coming from obviously like already graduated and stuff, basically a new opportunity, ready to play football, 2 years left to play, and so hopefully it'll be new beginnings and fresh start for football, new offense, new people around me, new climate obviously, and new place to live and new friends, so just say new beginning.
It is early, but what have you learned from some of your teammates in these early throwing sessions?
Going back to like throwing sessions and like lifts and stuff, a bunch of guys are just eager to get to work. I haven't like really had to beg anybody to come out there. Everybody's been asking, hey, like when are we throwing, stuff like this. So everyone's looking to improve, whether that's routes or in the weight room or they're off the field eating, stuff like that. So everyone's just really eager to get going, and it's been awesome getting those guys out there and seeing what they can do.
What is, I'm sure for the receivers, some of it's just learning how you throw the ball. So what do you learn from them when you guys are out there throwing routes?
So now it's just on air and stuff, and I mean, we gauge like if we just go through a killer lift or some crazy amount of running, like, hey guys, you can just go out there and spot catch or do something like that. But mainly in the spring and like obviously pre-spring right now, winter stuff is just timing. So like, I mean, I've never thrown to any of these guys in my life, so getting here the first couple weeks is, all right, this guy's six-step out looks a little different from this guy's, and all right, maybe this guy can go get the ball, or this guy's a jump ball guy or a back shoulder guy. Just learn some of that and seeing what the guys can do, and them also seeing what I can do. So it kind of goes both ways. We're learning about like each other.
What do you think about them?
There's some ballers in the wideout room. Been able to throw to some of them, some of the tight ends and the wideouts. Also throwing with Bo and Cutter. Really excited for the spring, and I think we got a bunch of good players.
Can you talk about your style and what you bring as a quarterback?
Yes, ma'am. I've been asked this a few times, but I would probably see myself as like a pocket passer. I think I was a dual threat in high school or something like classified as that, but just can extend the play if need be. Like not a guy that's looking to run, but I mean obviously if something presents itself, I think I can get down the field a little bit, move the chains, but nothing spectacular on the ground.
When you look at that top 10 list from your high school class, so many of those guys are either in the draft now or one big game in college. Do you still compare yourself against those guys? Do you still say I can do all those things too?
I wouldn't say it's like a comparison thing, more of just a like, I don't know, like I don't really compare myself to anybody like overall, whether it's my class or like older than me, younger than me. Compare myself to last spring, like just how was I last spring, what can I do better, how was I in fall camp, like what can I do better in this. And I mean, going back to like the question, like those guys, like seeing those guys like Caleb Williams, Drake May, some of those dudes, like that's awesome. Like just really proud of them. Like felt like just the other day we were at the Elite 11, which was when we all got to meet each other and talk and throw. So really excited for those guys, and hopefully that's me soon.
Brock, it's a really big decision in your career and the next step. What was it about Liam that kind of sold you on being in the right place and kind of that trust factor with him?
Basically, like, I mean, I liked Kentucky before I even talked with Coach Cohen much, just because their offense. Like, Coach Smart, he regards Kentucky really highly. I mean, played them every year that we're there at Georgia. And he always spoke well about him, well about Coach Stoops, and that's before I even had any conversations with either of them. And then being able to talk with him after I entered the portal and stuff, like, hey, like, I already knew like their offense was really similar to what Georgia runs. It's a pro-style offense. Like you're going to be able to go have success at the next level, which obviously we saw Levis being able to do at the end of the season. And then just being able to talk with him and get some of his terminology down, and it was unique. Like the first time we talked, he's calling stuff out. I'm like, whoa, we actually call it the same exact thing. So like just being able to have that overlap and know that it wouldn't be like a huge difference, but like I mean. Like everyone in college football runs slant flat. They're just going to call it something different. And so just knowing when to call it and when to do stuff like that is something that I believe Coach Cohen's really good at, and I'm ready to be a part of.
You aren't the only other Georgia guy here. Is there something in the water, or did you talk to Pop at all before he came up here, or was it just kind of purely happenstance that it happened?
Me and Pop have a great relationship. But the craziest thing is, like, we literally landed in Lexington for, I think it was my official visit or something, and I get Pop, grandpa emoji beside him on my phone calling me. I'm like, oh, Lord, what the heck? So he goes, hey, bro, when you getting to Lexington? I was like, dude, I actually just landed. I was like, what's up, man? He was like, oh, I'm here right now. I was like, dude, what? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. Like, are you looking at Kentucky? He said, yeah, heck yeah. So I was like, dude, that is awesome. I said, dude, let me know if I can do anything, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the dude's a game changer. So I didn't ask him why he left, what was all in it. I just said, dude, if you're coming to Kentucky and wearing the blue, then I don't have any questions. So he ended up in the locker room, and that's awesome. It's a great piece. It's a great addition to the team, and it's really good for the locker room. And just another older guy that has playing experience out there is just just great for the team overall.
Rob,
Actually,
you guys
like
have only lost 2 games in 3 years and 2 national championships. What can you bring to this program, not on the field, but really in the weight room, in the locker room, and things like that, to get that winning attitude here?
Mainly a thing like I've just stressed in my life is just, like, don't be satisfied, and but I'll honestly say, like, I haven't had to, like, and plus, like, right now, like, I'm at the stage where, like, hey, like, learning people's names, like, learning their why, like, that's a big deal to me, and not just, hey, dude, you need to make sure you do your reps or stuff like that, like, because me personally, like, I wouldn't be taking that from somebody that hadn't been there before, like, hasn't proved themselves. So, like, right now, it's, like, all about me doing my reps, me doing the most weight I can, me eating well off the field, me going to class. So making sure that I just do that, and then going back to, like, stuff that you can implement is, like, these guys, like, I haven't had to say anything. Like, I'm looking over and people are doing their work. Like, there's no fussing out there. There's no freaking I'm dying, like, letting people know that you're dying. Like, dude, just keep that inside. And, like, it's been great lifting and great throwing, so I haven't had to do anything so far. So it just shows it's just a statement to the culture that's already in place here, and just a couple different plays need to happen, and hopefully they will this next year, and hopefully that'll be us.
You mentioned liking Kentucky in the past. What kind of stood out to you preparing for them to play and then actually getting a chance to play at the end of the game this past year?
So, like, basically watching some of the offense was when I was when I was looking like I was probably going to leave. Just watching Kentucky film on offense was awesome. And then, I mean, we've game planned for him for 3 years. So we're like, hey, like, this dude here, like, we probably don't need to run the ball to him, or, hey, we probably don't need to take our one-on-one matchup with this guy. So being able to translate some of that to spring practice will be pretty cool. Like, looking back at my notes, like, obviously, like, maybe not throw to Hairston as much, but stuff like that. So it's just been awesome, like, seeing both sides of it, like honestly, like seeing how they run their defense, like how we run our offense, and being able to just take that and bring it to spring will be pretty sweet.
You spent 3 years just kind of constantly trying to compete and being in that kind of grind mode, and I know there's probably going to be some sort of competition here, but does it feel any different knowing that you're kind of the man and you don't have to always be looking at the guy next to you?
I wouldn't say that there's any difference, like, when it comes to that, because like I said earlier, like, I compare myself to myself. Like, hey, I know, like, if I had a great day, and maybe one of the other quarterbacks didn't have a great day, then that's a check in my box because I had a good day. Like, I'm doing well, and obviously want all the other quarterbacks to do well as well, but I'm not comparing myself to them. And then if I had a bad day and someone else had a great day, then that's awesome. I'm going to tell them great job, but then I'm going to go back to the film room, go back to walkthroughs, whatever it was, and to make sure I have a better day. But I kind of see myself as, like, in the past couple of years, like, doing that. Just, I mean, a young kid, like, freshman, sophomore, like, dude, like, Stetson Bennett, man, that dude can throw the ball 85 yards. I'm like, oh, well, heck, like, I can't do that yet. And so just stuff like that. But now, like, as I matured in my college, like, career, obviously, like, getting into my sophomore and junior year, like, me and Carson were, he was one class above me. So, like, we got to be really good buddies. And it was just like it's when everyone works together in the quarterback room, like, you're going to have more success. Like, whenever you can throw a ball, come back, like, directly after that play, hey, like, what'd you see on that play? Or, like, hey, did so-and-so went and backside on his one-on-one on that play? And or what'd you see that coverage as? It's just going to be a lot more better chemistry. I mean, you're not going to dread coming to the quarterback room every day whenever everyone in there is working together and want their buddy to do well as well.
It seems like this fan base is kind of connected with you right away. You know, the BB on Twitter is pulling up pictures of you hunting and fishing, and and it kind of clicked right away. Does that kind of build excitement for you? Because you never know when you commit, right? And then since it clicked right away, does that kind of build excitement for this season? Doing something special?
I mean, it's awesome. Like, obviously, that people weren't like, "Oh, this dude sucks," but it wasn't like a big deal. Like Slacks was asking me earlier if I saw something on Instagram or Twitter. I was like, "Well, honestly, like I don't get on it too much." And then obviously, like when the season comes, like barely any at all. Like last spring, I deleted all my stuff just to. I mean, you only get three, 4, 5, 6, however many years to play college football, and just I feel like if you don't take advantage of that, then just shame on you. Like, I mean, you got this one opportunity in your life to go out there and give it all you got, and then if you're distracted and doing other stuff that's not going to help your success, then just that's on you. And that's just the way I've been taking it.
Roger, you played for a program that had a big target on its back for the last 3 or 4 years. Now you're one of the teams that's a hunter. What do you think that's going to be like?
That's actually really funny you said that, because that's one of Coach Smart's big thing was like we're not going to be hunted. So like, I mean, I saw ourselves as the hunter last year. Like you're going out there like all the time, like you know you're going to get everyone's A game. It's SEC ball. Like everyone has a great program. Everyone has great coaches. Everyone has great players. And it's what are you going to do to just set yourself apart from obviously like the crosstown rival or an East Division or a West Division rival. And I mean, it's going to be the same mindset going into it as we've had or as I've had the past 3 years. And that's just you're going in there to hunt. You're going in there to take care of business and do what needs to be done. Like there's no like I don't feel like there was ever any running obviously like at Georgia, but here like I mean we're going like we're coming and it's just the same mindset that I've had the past 3 years. Going to prepare the same way.
Rock, how did having a sister already, just down the road here help with that comfort level moving away from home, from a place you were so familiar and comfortable with?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it played a huge factor, but just knowing that I'm really not even sure how far she is away, but she comes here on Sundays we go to church together, so that's awesome. Like I've said, like I haven't lived more than like 20 minutes away from my house, so I mean being away from my parents the first couple weeks, I mean I would always call my mom on the way home from practice or from lift and stuff, but being able to see her every Sunday has been awesome, and I know it's good. I know she's glad I'm here, and I'm glad that she's here, so it didn't play like too big of a factor obviously like 21 years old, but it's still it's great, and being able to see her on Sundays and go get lunch after has been really good.
I think it did look like
Go ahead. Stay on the family aspect. Your dad being a coach growing up, how much of an impact has he had on your career?
Tremendous impact. Like he's like I mean obviously like if you have a good coach at any level, like you're gonna remember them, like remember the values they've instilled in you. Like I've taken stuff from him, Coach Smart, Bobo Monken, like all those guys, and just like hey, putting stuff in my toolbox that they've said, like maybe it's stuff to help me prepare for the game. And then obviously with my dad being a coach, like you're getting coached at the house on how you can make your bed better. So like just stuff like that's really unique, and having him as a coach, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like it was tough like my freshman sophomore year, because I was like we were going home and like still talking about football and practice. I'm like, dude, like we had to sit down. I was like, hey, like when we pull in the driveway, like let's go back to I'm your son, you're my dad, and then after that, like, oh gosh, after that, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So, yes, sir.
One thing it did look like you used social media for was to recruit Jamori. Just how important was it to bring him in, and even Raymond as well? Oh yeah, those two guys, they're a great addition to the team, and me and Jamori, like we've hit it off. So like you kind of see some of the guys, like all the mid-year freshmen that come in, they all hang out together. All the transfers kind of hang out together, and we're branching out and learning more people and learning more names and finding more common interests. But Jamori's a great kid, and we actually have a few classes together, which isn't so great. But he's a good dude. He runs routes well. I think he's going to do anything you ask him to do, whether that's from the coaches or from a leadership standpoint on the field, and I think he's a great addition.
Forget football. What about hunting and fishing in Kentucky?
Oh, I will say, in Kentucky, I don't know too much about the hunting and fishing here, but I will say I shot a pretty big deer, I would say, and I like if you show it to some of the people up here, they're like, dude, what the heck is that? Like, I mean, it's a good deer for Georgia, but I've shown it to people here, they're like, that's awesome, man. So I'm like, oh gosh. But I mean, if some of the deer here, like if you show that to somebody in Georgia, they're like, how much did that cost? Like high fence deer. So it'll be definitely a change, and so yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to do some of that after football's done, but haven't had too much time for that. Now I'm just learning the playbook and, like I said, learn people's names and what they like to do and what drives them.
you find any hunting and fishing connections on the team already, guys?
A little people. I mean, a little bit of people, but I mean, I will say, like, back in Georgia, I was selfish about my spots. Like, I don't want somebody coming there killing all my deer. So I respect that, and we're working on that. So obviously, maybe there's some wideouts or something. Like, hey, I'll toss you a few more balls if we get to go fish a little bit after this. But no, sir, not too many specifics right now. But hopefully that's in the works.
Rock, you just mentioned a couple times about the importance of just learning people's names, learning people's playbooks, the playbook, and kind of getting used to your surroundings, and that's why you don't feel comfortable yet maybe taking teammates to task. Is that something that you don't think you'd be comfortable with until you get on the practice field, or when do you kind of know that you can start doing that?
I'd say the main thing is with that is just time. Like, I sat down and had lunch today with Fred, and that was awesome. Like, got to know like more about him, more about his story, and just that comes with time. Like, just sitting there, he's eating by himself. I went and sat and ate with him, and that 30-minute conversation, that goes a long way. And it doesn't take banked reps with people for them to trust you. Like, that just happens from conversations. Like with me and you right now. Lifting with people's another thing, breaking bread with people's another thing, and just spending your free time with someone. Like if on the weekends, like if you're spending free time with somebody on the team, that shows that obviously they mean a lot to you and they're choosing to spend their time with you that they really wouldn't have to. And just building those bonds on just time on the weekends, time after lift and stuff like that's really important.
Do you feel like guys have already been a little more receptive to some of the things you say, given again where you just came from? Like Kentucky's wanting to get to where Georgia's been the last 5-6 years.
I wouldn't say like maybe that's the reason. I mean, it might be like I don't really understand why that would be the reason. But like with me, like just doing, like I said earlier, like just doing my work, making sure I'm on top of my stuff, like earning people's respect in that way. Obviously not a vocal time to be vocal. I mean, it's more just everyone's doing their lift, everybody's doing their running, and then, hey, maybe you could run this route a little better, or against this look is going to look like this. And that just comes from watching film, like being able to sit down and watch some film with some of the guys and tell them like why we're trying to run this route this certain way or why it has to be this depth. So I think that's another thing that comes with time.
Everybody good? All right.
Thanks, bro.